Hi everyone and welcome to FilmDirt. Now I'm going to talk about 2001 A Space Odyssey. I revisited the film recently and I did see it about 20 years ago, and my opinion remains the same. It's a very intriguing film. I still don't know quite what to make of it. There are a lot of parts which are actually quite immersive, but that's because they take so long in building up in their execution and purpose in the scene. A lot of the stuff in the first scene with all the monkeys, you just think, what is the message that they're trying to tell here? I mean, what is this? And obviously, or not obviously in this case, we're seeing development of how I interpreted it, control, and who's the superior being. You get hints of that with the violence and the the specific look at how bones can be used as weapons, or whatever you've got to hand, whatever's available around you. Maybe next time it will be a rock, or I don't know, you'd use a branch or something. You just use whatever's around you, in this case bones, to assert control over everyone around you. So you're the superior being. Now we get the monolith that just appears suddenly, and they're intrigued by it. Now, the way I interpreted that, and I know I'm really searching now, because this is just what popped into my head, is that you've got a superior being or a superior race that is using time travel or teleportation, cross-universe travel, light speed, hyperspace, whatever you want to call it, and they're leaving an object behind, either by mistake or to watch to see what happens. I don't know what the monolith is though. Have we established what that is? I haven't read any explanation from anyone to describe what it is. I don't know if it's just a MacGuffin, and we're the ones being mocked because it's just a rectangular shape. It's nothing. It's not even it's not a radio. It's not a weapon. It's not a spying device. It's not a camera or anything that we can identify with. I see it as just a MacGuffin, which is nothing. It's just a shape. So it could be anything. It's almost like a placeholder, or maybe the shape turned into something else. It transformed. I don't know, but it's just a tease to tell us that there is something out there, a superior being playing with us, or observing, or trying to control us. It could be a big brother thing, by observing us, but I don't know quite what Stanley Kubrick or Arthur C. Clarke is trying to tell us, or the message that they're trying to give us. I haven't read the original material from Arthur C. Clarke. I don't do that. I don't read too many books based on movies. I tend not to. I like to keep the stories self-contained, whether it's a film or a book. That's how I like to stick to it. I don't like to read multiple media just to find out the answers to one story. So it's just the movie I'm looking at now and what I grasped from it. Now, I did say it's intriguing, but there's a lot of shots here which took so long and wasted so much time with very little purpose. Now, it did get quite tense in the second half of the movie, where You've got Hal seemingly not malfunctioning, but getting a mind of its own. And we crossed similar themes with the Terminator films, possibly Terminator 1, where it's almost a horror aspect to it. It makes you think what would happen if machines do take over, and it's quite a scary thought. I think they could have gone into this a little bit deeper, I think, where wherever you go, the machine is always there. And I did get that when they went into multiple rooms and they're still talking to Hal as if he's following them. And it's not a physical being, it's just the eye of the machine always watching, which is Big Brother again. You can't get away from it, much like the internet. Now, I know I think this movie is 1968, well before the internet. But, you had stories similar to what the internet is now. And I think Kubrick missed a trick here by not developing that further. But who am I to contest a great filmmaker like Stanley Kubrick? The visual effects, let's talk about that. They're absolutely amazing. Now, I didn't think I watched a remastered version. I saw a current Blu-ray, and I watched the movie I think I watched it on TV and DVD back in the day. And I still get the same feeling that the space effects and the spacecrafts look absolutely amazing. You can see why there's an urban myth where possibly Stanley Kubrick developed the footage of the moon landings. Now, the footage does look very similar to what we saw released from NASA. So, is it true? I don't know. It's a very interesting thought, and all the footage just looks seamless. Absolutely seamless. No matte lines anywhere. I didn't see a single matte line, a single dodgy frame. Some of the screens and inserts in windows on the spacecrafts I read somewhere that they're front projection, and they look a bit shaky. But overall, the actual space scenes and stuff floating in space, absolutely amazing and very immersive. I saw it on a big screen. I've got a projector, and the footage was incredible. Really, really good. I don't know what effects house they used back in the 60s to create that, but the results are absolutely incredible. So, apart from the thoughts that this film gives you, the story can be quite simple if you think about it. You've got the HAL computer malfunctioning or maybe just getting a mind of its own, and and the Big Brother aspect and the superior being just is it watching us and developing its own personality, and like we're the goldfish and they're looking into the bowl. I don't know. Is it that simple, or are we just trying to look for more complicated things for the sake of it? Maybe it is that simple. And you've got the time jump hyperspace scene after that, which looks absolutely incredible, and it felt like 10 minutes of very immersive visuals. I also like how there was no sound in space, and that came across not even as an effect. It drew you into the film even more. So I can only see a very intriguing film. I wouldn't see it again. I think I've seen it 3 times in my life, and I think that's enough. I think I've got everything I needed to get from this film, and I still haven't had any questions answered. But I love Stanley Kubrick and the thoughts he provokes in you. There's obviously a message there, and I just think it's simpler than we think it is. So what mark do I give this film? Three out of five, slightly above average for me, very slightly. You know, it's I think it's unnecessarily long, possibly more complicated than it needs to be, and you know, you've got a lot of threads there which I don't think they make any sense, and there's other opportunities of story threads where we could have um, followed those rather than stuff like the landing at the in the stately bedroom. I don't understand. Sorry, I can't give you a very intellectual answer. There's just quite a few things here which I don't have the answers for, like I said. So three out of five for me. Now let me just tell you a little bit about myself very briefly. As I say in other reviews, I don't get any bonuses, no treats, no free tickets from any of the studios, and all my reviews, whether they're for new films or old films, you know, they're all my own views, and you know, I'm not influenced by any of the studios in any way, unlike some of the other reviewers. So I'll see you again for another review soon. Take care.